Hello, my name is Eduardo Salamanca, and this is my capstone project. This is your life on the crack epidemic in Chicago, Illinois in the 1990s. This is my father-in-law that I decided to interview, and I'll have him introduce himself now.
Hello, my name's Thomas Lieber. I've been a Chicago police officer for over 30 years. Um, I've seen a lot of the drug trade make many changes. Just briefly, in the early 90s, when crack cocaine was introduced, it accompanied a large amount of violence. A lot of that was over drug territory. It was the hot new drug in town, and therefore the clientele and the demand for it was great. And with that, with great demand, came great violence to see who would profit the most. So we could fast forward into the state of the nation now, and back even 10 years ago or so, some of these major cities decided to go a little softer on some drug crime, and therefore was not incarcerating people like they were back in the early 90s, because back then the penalties for drugs were severe, and sometimes even separating families from their mothers, and which had an adverse effect on the upbringing of the children and the family structure. But like I said, at turn events in a lot of these large cities, they turned to a vastly different approach. The verdict is still out on that. I understand that with some of these crimes that no one's hurt but themselves, and the decay of their life, it does affect the family members around them. It also affects some of the behavior they will conduct, thefts, burglaries, robberies, even prostitution, all to feed their habits. But if you mention Seattle, for example, they went really lenient on the drugs, and therefore they don't even hold people overnight. They can give them a ticket, and they can be back on the street doing whatever lifestyle they're accustomed to. And as opposed to some states like in Connecticut, they have still strong drug laws that will incarcerate people, but part of their incarceration is that they go through a major drug rehabilitation program, and they don't have nearly the repeat offenders that some of the bigger cities that have softened all the laws on narcotics, and because that almost promotes more narcotic use. So for the right answer to all this is first, don't get involved. That would be the number one. Abstinence of drug use would be the number one deterrent, but it probably lies somewhere in the middle. I would sway with the East Coast mentality of Connecticut that has shown a great deter in former drug users becoming rehabilitated. And I believe that is probably the best way to address the problem.
Okay, thank you. And I think we go more over in detail within the project. And I just want to thank my father-in-law again for helping me with this. And Thomas Lieber, detective, Chicago Police Department. Thank you.
All right.